The first limiting belief is that money is scarce. I had to personally learn how to grow out of this because growing up in China, where parents and schools are hammering students on their grades, I learned that there's only one place that's the first place. But the world works in magical ways. There's always a bigger fish tank out there. There are many other VP jobs, other promotions at other companies. You can start your own companies and more. Once you start understanding that there's a vast abundance of resources flowing in, all you need to do is position yourself within the right channels, and then your actions, mental state can all quickly change. You will be more encouraged to go after those dreams and goals because money comes and goes quickly. If you find the right idea, people, or product, your financial life can change dramatically in a hurry. Understanding that money is abundant is a crucial mindset shift before you start your freedom journey. Now, the second limiting belief I had to learn to personally break through myself and others as well was about hard work. Hard work alone does not get you to freedom. Growing up in China, where I and many other students like me had to study more than 12 hours a day in high school just to get into a good college, that mindset was so drilled into us by cultural norms and family, from elementary school all the way to first job, master's degree, and more. The mindset was so drilled into me as the only way to get to freedom, so I never even questioned it. Even when I came to the US, I realized that others around me had a similar mindset. I was working 50, 70 hours at this company in Chicago, where they only gave me a raise of a few $1,000s after working there for 4 years. Eventually, I left for better opportunities. And then COVID really woke me up when I saw the fragility of life. I realized the sad truth of working at the same demanding career just to get to 3% raises no longer made sense. I learned that it didn't matter how much I worked or how good I did. I fell into a range of salary increases that is so narrow. Even if I get promoted, the right race to the top or to retirement just never seems to stop. And a lot of times they were so out of my control as well. Eventually, the harder and the longer hours I worked, the more diminishing returns I was getting. It wasn't just the monetary returns, but the returns in the quality of life I wanted, the time with friends, family, faith, and my own happiness. I realized that I can have one, maybe two jobs to increase my pay without diminishing returns that I mentioned. However, I can have as many apartment complexes, short-term rentals, mobile home parks, and other cash flowing assets as I want. I learned that I no longer want to be a slave for the money and be handcuffed to my job. I wanted to choose freedom and let my money work for me in my sleep. I do want to tell you, though, jobs are not bad. We just need to leverage them to find more assets that get us closer to freedom. Now, this lead me to talk about the third limiting belief that I had to overcome as well. It's about the return on investment, and that is not always about money. One of the most precious resources in the world is time, and to me, that is the best return on investments. Something I had to learn and always be reminded is that time is the most precious resource out there. Yes, I had to repeat that to you. Growing up with thrifty parents and graduate with $0 in my bank account, it was so natural of me to look for ways to save and penny pinching where I could. While I agree that saving is one of the most important part of financial planning, what we need to save most is time. I had to learn to let go of those saving habits where I saved a little bit here and there, but wasted so much time in between. I had to learn to protect my time and free up more of my time. As you get more success in your career and build closer to your freedom goals, you'll see that more and more people and companies out there just want to chat with you. You'll need to learn to how to turn some of those down wisely. Otherwise, you won't have enough time for why you wanted freedom in the first place. Freeing up more time by establishing more systems and processes and leveraging other people's time. Yes, you heard it right. Leveraging other people's time. Just like how you have heard me perhaps say in the past, leveraging other people's money. Small examples like giving cleaners to clean for you if you don't enjoy cleaning, leverage other people's time to get grocery delivered, get taxes done. Hey, at the end of the day, your time is worth way more than the minimum wage. And not just because some of the other professionals who do those things for a living can do a much better job than you in those activities. I wish I had known all that. When I studied real estate investing, I spent a lot of time doing the physical managing of the property with unit turnovers, finding tenants, Yeah, sure. I thought I was saving a few $1,000s each time, and I was learning a lot of stuff as well. But I just couldn't scale into that with the same processes I had built and the same quality I wanted for more units or more income. Most importantly, I learned that I actually didn't save much money at all because I made mistakes that could have been avoided and handled by a professional property manager, for example. I didn't have much time or expertise or resources to find a quality tenant, also willing to pay market rent and wanted to move in as soon as possible. So essentially, I lost money. But most importantly, I lost time doing something I did not enjoy and I did not want to do in the first place. Even though we're talking about the definite amount of time that we have here, what I realized that it's also about protecting the mind you have. When you decide to do those activities yourself, you choose to add more micro decisions to your brain to make. The truth is that there are so many decisions that we have to make in a day that adding on more, we're reaching to more decision fatigue. After all, we're not just someone from Limitless, if you watch the movie, that had unlimited amount of brain power at our disposal. So we need to protect our time and protect our brain power. So learn to protect those two things when you're on your path to freedom so that you can spend it at where it matters. Well, I hope you enjoy the three limiting beliefs about freedom that I just covered in this episode. While I would like to claim that I'm the first one to share and address those limiting beliefs, the truth is that I was inspired by so many people and resources. Some of the books I highly recommend you to read about to expand your mind in this area. And in case you haven't read them, they're Rich Dad Poor Dad and 4 Hour Work Week. Now, let's change your trajectory towards freedom by remembering this. Money is abundant. Hard work alone does not get you to freedom. And one of the best return on investment is not monetary, but rather a return of the most precious resource, time. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode.